a few table topics were possible. Now, next we are going to move into the very much awaited education session on how to develop and deliver the humorous speech. Toastmaster Deenadayalan, the division champion of humorous speakers, the stage is all yours now.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, and I'm sorry for the small glitch in the beginning. So, Gayatri, will I be able to maneuver this on my own? How do I change this page? Okay.
Hi, Dina. You're able to do it. I have given you the control.
Okay, I think I guess.
Yes, you are doing it. That's your mouse. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Maybe you can just mute me and then continue.
Okay. Should I deliberately mute you?
Yes, mute me. Yeah. I think I'll do it.
If you can do it on your own, that will be grateful. Because I'm just looking for you in there.
She just muted herself. You can continue, Dina. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Now we just started with the introduction of. I told you just please prepare to take note down your ideas as we discuss this during the course of this session. We discussed about the difference between the stand-up comedy humorous speech, and we said that all humorous script revolves around the narration of the speaker's experience. And also, so what makes the people laugh? It's that when the audience believe that certain things are true, it is revealed at the last moment that something else is also true. The involuntary psychological reaction is called as laughter. We also see the example of that, right? When the first statement is true, but audience thought that it's about their married life, but only it is revealed at the last moment. It is not about that married life, but it's their pre-married life. Let's see another. And why should we write our own jokes? Because the social media and everything is so powerful these days that any joke that you heard anywhere is almost obsolete. And it is more embarrassing to actually listen to the same jokes. You lose that audience right away. So it's important that we have to write our own jokes. Understanding the structure of the jokes makes you to write the joke properly. It is a lot more better than waiting for any inspiration. Let's see. A joke consists of 3 different parts. It starts with a truthful statement, a careful misdirection, and the last one is the punch word or the punch phrase. Now, of course, you need to leave a pause for each part of this structure. We'll understand more when we see it as an example. Okay. My salary hike letter released. I felt very happy. Because my friend also got 0% hike. Now, from this sentence, you just see the first sentence is a truthful statement. When I said that my salary hike letter released, and I felt very happy, that is my careful misdirection. Now, when everybody would have thought about that I got a very good hike, right? Only it is revealed the reason for my happiness is not because that I got a very good hike, it's because that my friend also got a 0% hike like me. And this example matches with our structure. Like the first sentence is a truthful statement. And the second one is meant to believe you that it is about something about increase in the hike. Okay, all joke structure, all jokes mostly follow this structure. It could be one sentence, it could be a few sentences or a paragraph, but predominantly, if you could see, the structure would remain like this. The first and the second phrase, usually they call it as a setup. And the last one is a punchline, a punch word. And we meant to keep this punch word as last as possible, because that's where you need to be, that's where the surprise is. You cannot have the surprise in the beginning, you should have it at the end. Let's see another example. I did not come to this meeting just to look for beautiful ladies. nor find an opportunity to talk to them. When you listen to this statement, so what do you think? Okay, இவன் வேற ஏதோ ஒரு பெரிய மேதாவி போல he is going to do something else அப்படின்னு தோணும் இல்லையா? So let's see what is the punch line or punch phrase. Actually, I came here for both. It's like Vadivel saying, நான் ஒன்றும் அவ்வளவு கேவலமானவன் இல்லை, பட் அதை விட ரொம்ப கேவலமானவங்கிற மாதிரி. You are able to relate to this. The first and second sentence is meant to actually push you one direction, and the last statement is actually to create a twist and to create laughter. If you understand the structure, you should be able to create jokes on your own. You don't have to wait for any inspiration. The last one, I asked my wife, is dinner ready? She replied, it is ready. When you finish cooking, you are able to relate the examples and the structure properly, right? Did they make any proper, does it make any sense to you all at all?
Yes, of course.
Thank you. Let's see the methods to create humor. These are the different categories of creating the humor. Talking about irrelevance, spark, humor pops, conflicts. Although the categories is not that important, we'll see the examples of each category. Then we will be able to relate to what this comedy is all about. And we also can play around with the words or phrases that almost sounds the same. Homophones, the words that have the same sound but have a different meaning, like sight and sight. We can play around it to create humor. Idioms as an excellent source of humor as well. And the last one is exaggeration extension. And all humor actually exaggerates to create a normal situation into a humorous one. Let's see an example for each of these to understand better. Let's talk about irrelevance. Talking something irrelevant to the current topic brings indirect correlation, creating laughter. When we they create laughter. I hope that a little bit of Tamil is okay for all the audience, because that would give a sense of more relevance.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for that liberty. Now let's see that example. So when you talk something irrelevant to the current topic, and there is an indirect correlation between the two, that might cause laughter. You'll understand more when you see an example. The teacher is actually saying this: arise, awake, and stop not until goal is reached. Who said this statement?
Vivekananda.
Swami Vivekanand.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that shows that you are with me. Thank you so much. The teacher was actually teaching about Swami Vivekananda, telling them the urgency of the youth actually coming up very quickly and sooner. When she says, arise, awake, and stop not until goal is reached, you see the student actually says, ma'am, can I go to the bathroom now? That student has understood the urgency in a different way. If you see, it's totally irrelevant, but the audience are able to do an indirect correlations between these two. This kind of irrelevance can create laughter. Okay, let's see another example. Let's imagine a professor, a college professor is actually telling his students, change is the only thing that is constant in this world. Change is good. We must prepare ourselves for a change. When he was telling this to the students to prepare themselves for the change, suddenly a peon enters the room with a memo saying that, sir, you just got transferred. Although these two statements, there is no relevance to it, but there is an indirect correlation. The professor who actually wanting us to make the change, he himself is undergoing some change so quickly. Are you able to get anything out of this topic?
Yes.
Very much. Yeah, very
Yes.
much.
Thank you. Let's see another thing. This is a typical our work from home environment. That's where a lot of us are into. Engineer is actually updating his manager. Sir, I will make sure that the work is completed today. So imagine that your father is actually speaking to his neighbor over the phone related to the plumber. When you say this, right, or assuming that, sir, I will make sure that the work is completed today. Assuming your father says over the phone, avana nambadinga sir, அவன் ஒன்று சொல்லுவான் ஆனால் வரமாட்டான். What if your dad says don't trust him? He will never keep up his word. So these two things are totally not relevant, but there is an indirect correlation. This identifying this will help you to get humor out of it. Okay, are you guys are with me?
Yes,
Very
yes.
much, Deena. Yeah, we
Yes,
are
very
with you.
much.
Thank you.
Even in the second statement, right? The peon, if it comes and he gives a 100 rupee note and asks for the change, that is also.
Yeah, that's what we will actually discuss about the spark. What you just got now is a spark. When I was discussing a certain things, your mind automatically catch up some word and branches out and develop a script on your own. So you just said that about the change rate, 100 rupees change rate is called as a spark, and we will discuss about this more in our upcoming slides. That is so coincidence that I'm going to talk about that spark in the next slide. Spark is like when you listen to a sentence or a story, right? Some words will actually catch you more than ever, and that is when you just catch that word, your mind automatically started to branch out from there and try to spread your ideas in a different way. And you don't have to work really hard to actually write a humorous script. If you just all that you need is that particular spark. Whereas in the previous examples, right, it's about you have to work towards the content, but the advantage of having the spark is that the content will automatically flow into you. Let's see from an example. A well-known story or a situations can be twisted to create a humor. Look for that spark and your mind will do rest of the work. Okay, I'll take some examples to explain this. You have listened to the Christian wedding vow, right, where the father or the priest actually stand in front of the bride and the groom, saying some verses from the Bible. Okay, and the bride or groom has to repeat those words. Okay, so that's how the marriage happens. I've taken one sentence from that. So the sentence read like this: I take you as lawfully. I mean, this is a groom actually telling, I take you as lawfully wedded wife and promise to hold from this day forward, for better, for worse, for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health, till death do us apart. There's a typo here. Do us apart. So this is the sentence that the far reads through. While reading the statement, right, probably each one of you might have got a spark by being very catchy about one particular word. Let's see what a spark means. I got a spark when I read this statement, and that hold is what my spark is. And here the hold means like promise, holding the promise to hold. But there's a lot of other things that we hold things, right? So that's what triggered me, and then write this statement like this. And during the corona situations, we holding hands is something that we don't do, right? So I change the statement like this: I take you as lawfully wedded wife and promise to never hold your hands, even in situations that I have to hold. I will immediately wash my hands and care to wear a mask in sickness and in health till corona do us apart. Now, if you ask me, like, did I work towards the entire sentences? No. I just got this word and it just spark has created this entire sentence. My brain did the rest of the work. Because once you know that what you're going to do to hold, I think the opportunities are immense. Let's take another same sentence. I got a spark again. If I got a spark in this word, say take you, I'll change it like this: I tolerate you as lawfully wedded wife and promise to never open my mouth from this day forward, for better, for worse, for yawning or snoring, till you make the food ready and allow me to eat. The same sentence, I choose a different words to create the spark, and my mind actually started writing these things. Okay. Similarly, when you read the sentence, any of these words will definitely create a spark for you. Say for better or richer or health or death, any of those words can create a spark for you. That will help you to create the script. This is the easiest way. I mean, like less investment, more benefit kind of what do you call it, method. So are you guys with me?
Yes.
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 Thank you. there is something called as humor pops, right? So in the initial examples, we saw that there is a truthful statement, a careful misdirection, and a punch word or punch phrase constitute the joke structure. No? Usually, right, the punch word will be revealed in the last moment because that's where the surprise is. But there are also opportunities to create this, use the same punch word, but try a different setups here. Okay, but this is called as humor pops, where it just pops up as you just speak and repeat those punch word in the later part of the speech. Let's see some example. Okay, I have to give you the background for this one. Usually, right, in our family setup, right, our marriages always happen in order, right? I mean, the older one gets married first, followed by the younger one. That order only. So this happens not just within the family, but also close relatives. For example, your cousin, if he's older than you, he gets married, and then followed by the whoever is next is older, then he or she gets married. That's how it is. Typically, when you happen to attend your cousin's wedding, right, there will be some person, either it could be old man, old lady, or old auntie, who would be saying that, hey guy, you are the next Adhanida, right? They used to say this, putting a pressure on our marriage, and we have to show our face as if we are not interested, which is very difficult. This keeps happening, right? Now, assuming that the wedding situation changes into a funeral. And in the funeral, you happen to see that same old party or old auntie. And this time, this is your turn to say, okay, looking at the body in the funeral and then tell to this old lady, you are next. If you could see, the you are next is a punch word which I used it in the previous setup and the punch line. And the same thing I use here also, and only change the setup here. Okay, by changing that, this pops up again. And in fact, it created more humor because you already tuned to the audience using this punch word already. In fact, it actually brings in more humor than the first one. So stand-up comedians try this one a lot. So this is one example. The other one example is I use this thing in my speech about impressing a manager, how you can actually escape from a meeting. Regular usual team meeting, right? How you can escape when people keep on asking questions. You immediately say it as shall we take this offline? That's how you escape and to come out that situations and then escape it, right? But it truly none of the discussions had ever been discussed offline, right? So I used this during the course of my speech. In the end, I used the same punchline saying that as I speak, you might have some questions or clarifications. But right now I don't have time. Shall we take this offline? Well, shall we take this offline is a punch word I used in the beginning, and at the end also I used it. It's a two same punch word with a different setup. Are you guys able to understand this? Humor pops.
Yep.
Yes. Thank you. You can use any word. I mean, just miss. You can create any situations with respect to this word. You can do that. I'm just giving some examples only.
Yeah, I am waiting. That can also be.
Yes, I am waiting. Yes. That's so that is
Vijay's
your
dialogue.
spark. You might have to note this down. Okay. So this is that I am waiting will have the opportunity for you to develop the entire story behind it. Okay, that's the reason why I mentioned that you should prepare your pen or paper to actually note down some of the sparks that might happen during the course of this meeting. Okay, not just note down what I'm saying. Okay, thank you. Let's see, the conflicts, we can actually create a conflict in the beginning and then you reveal the conflict in the beginning and then roll down the story behind this conflict to the audience. That might create a lot of humor. Unfold the story on how this conflict is misinterpreted across this thing. A manager and the pregnant lady, like manager wants to talk. The common thing about both of them is that delivery, right? Manager worries about delivery, pregnant lady is also worries about delivery. You can actually reveal this conflict up front, having the conversation between these two by actually considering the commonality between these two. It is about delivering certain things at the end of the period. It's applicable to both managers and pregnant lady. Tension and pressure goes up towards the end. True in both the cases. The monthly review and check becomes weekly review towards the end. That's applicable for both the cases. And after delivery, both of them goes on leave. Okay, so this finding commonality between that, and then you can create a misinterpretation conversation between a manager and the pregnant lady. Assuming that manager and pregnant lady are in a meeting and then manager is telling the pregnant lady about the importance of delivery. While he is interested only in the project delivery, but he didn't mention about clearly. And the pregnant lady is actually worried about only her delivery, and she thinks that it is the manager is talking about the her own delivery. Let's say if I say that something that manager says, it is very important that you have to deliver on time. Otherwise, it will become very complicated. I hope you understand the criticality. You are the only person in our team who can do this. Others cannot do it for you. See, everybody is waiting for this only, including the customer. Once you deliver, everybody is going to be happy. In fact, I'm planning to celebrate that day. Don't think I'm trying to push you. See, something that you should do on your side as well. If the manager says his conversations, the entire conversation is related to project delivery as well as the actual delivery. So are you guys able to relate to it? Find a commonality, have a conflict in the beginning, and then try to unfold the story in a way where it is there is a cause for misinterpretation throughout the story. It's just about the careful word selections to put it. That's all. Are you guys with me?
Yes, Dina, we are getting a lot of spark.
Thank you so much. Please note this down. These are your seeds, your assets. Similarly, office and wife, right? There's a lot of commonality between these two, and there is an opportunity to create conflict and then roll that down. Correct number of hours needs to be maintained at all times, right? Both at home and office. You need to keep updating on what you are doing, both to the manager as well as to the wife. And if you take good care of them, you will get promoted, right? You will be promoted. So this can, that's about the conflicts. Let's move on to the words. You can also play around with the words and phrases to actually create a lot of humor. Our famous Crazy Morgan does this a lot. In fact, it does it too much that it is very difficult to actually follow his humor. It's like you have too many humor spots in a single line, and you have to revisit 3 or 4 times to actually to absorb or to get benefit out of that humor. He's a very good at it. I hope you don't deny that. Observe the sentence carefully and look for different meaning or possible combination. That's what he does. Okay, let's see. Let's go back to the example on what that happened in the church about the father and the pastor and about the bride and groom standing in front of them. Once their wedding is over and they exchange the rings, now the father declares them like, I now pronounce you both as husband and wife. Like he's declaring that they are husband and wife, right? Now in the same sentence, how we can actually twist or change it, convert to the what if he says that I now pronounce you as Tom and Jerry, because with the intention that both of them are going to fight at home all the time. Same sentence, like assuming that the father knows these two people, they are living in the same street and they know both of them. I now pronounce you both are impossible. Or it could be also like the priest calls groom aside and whispers in his ears, I now pronounce you as dead. Maganeni Sattara. So it's like the same sentence. Okay, you actually trying to harvest from the same, putting a different possible combinations out of that sentence. Okay, now that in the earlier example, I took you directly to into the church, exactly into the place where the wedding happens, exactly to the instance where that wedding happened. Okay, but there's a lot of opportunity which I had left out. Okay, right from the way that you park your vehicle in the church and the people assembling in the as an audience. So the wedding toast, the dinner, and all the other things are the unexplored opportunities which you can think through and write it. Okay, I just put that as an example. Taken to the specific spots and gave the example, but there is quite a lot of opportunities all around it. Same thing where I told, but we'll just see one of the examples of those as well. Manager saying to his employee, can you stay late and finish the work? Usually what his response would be, right? Sir, with pleasure, I will do it, sir. But what if you just mentioned and renamed the words like this? With pressure, sir. It's about using the same sound, but with the, of the, say, what do you call, different words with all having the same sound and trying to create a humor out of it. Which means that he's not happy about staying late and finish the work. So imagine I'm part of the community team in the community service team in office, and I say, save environment, save water, and save planet. And my manager comes towards me and then pats on my shoulder and says this. First, save the Excel sheet. Last week, you didn't save the Excel sheet and you caused a lot of rework because your PC crashed. So here the save environment, save water, save planet, the word save it is also used here. It's about playing with the words. Saving the Excel sheet is also, but it's a different types of saving, right? That's why if you observe the words carefully, you will be able to get benefit out of each of them. In fact, comedians, you might think that they arrive at that last piece, the best piece right away. No, they actually try all combinations. They face roadblock everywhere, and finally they have one piece which is actually revealed to you. And if you see that their jokes are magical, it is something that they actually worked it only this way. They write a sentence and look for the possible combination. Okay? And even idioms can be used as a excellent source. The reason idioms are used is that we already know the meaning of it or the context of it. So your jobs becomes easy when you take a joke out of it. Julius Caesar says these words: "I came, I saw, and conquered." And if you have a new fresh IT engineer walking into the office first day, okay, says this: "I came, I saw, and I was immediately put on bench." No, same idioms, kindly twisted, used a different person or a different context, and you'll get it. And somebody was mentioning about the beating around the bush, right? That's again another good idiom. And in fact, that idiom was famous during the time when we had in the 1990s, we had the Gulf War, and Bush was responsible for invading the Iraq about this thing. And a lot of people in Americans also don't like Bush, so they use this phrases very frequently. Don't beat around the bush, beat the bush. So here the bush means the president. Okay, so idioms also could be an excellent source of humor. Exaggeration. So this is where you actually a normal situations can be converted into a humorous situation. Okay, so I actually traveled to the office, and then through the Solinganallur junction, in the traffic, you know, right, how the Swiggy guy travels, right? They just go zigzag and then do a lot of rash drive. And one guy was actually hit me near the car, and then he was about, it doesn't mind, and he went that way. I was really frustrated, and I rolled up my windows and then said to him, "Are you educated?" Okay, so he doesn't seem to mind it, and he just took his vehicle and went away. Okay, so this is just happened. So there's no humor in it. What if that Swiggy guy responded like this? If I said, "Are you educated?" He responds saying that, "Yes, sir. BE computer science. I can write better Java code than you. Do you have an offer?" So if just the exaggeration, like if there's extending the conversations, it helps you to create the humor. Okay, you guys are getting it?
Yes, Dina.
Very much. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much. So the other example is security check. These are the days where in those days we used to go to office. No, only now we are used to work from home. Those days we used to go to office, and then you have a security check in any IT company, right? It's a rigorous check. They will check your bags, check your socks, everything, to just check as if we are going to steal the software in our shoes. So that happens. Like even you have to separate the security, like a lady security for ladies and the gent security for gents. Okay, I went in and I have one lady. It was a very hot sunny day. Ladies are also being checked. Okay, the one fine lady was actually carrying only a small purse. But the lady securities are much more tougher. You know, they are very keen on. They will not allow anything. Whereas the gent security are very liberal. this happened like there was a lady walking, an employee walking in front of me, and she was caught by the security, lady security, and he said, "Ma'am, I would like to check." But actually, that woman employee doesn't have anything in that, just a small purse. But this lady security doesn't want to leave. "Ma'am, can you open the purse? I want to see." And while she was opening the purse, the lady security said, "Ma'am, any USB pen drive, anything and all that?" And this lady said, "No, nothing." And they just went off fine. I just thought in the situations, what if that frustrated women employee responded back? If the secretary was asking, "Ma'am, any USB thumb drive in your purse, anything like that?" If the woman employee says that, "No, no USB pen drive and all that, only LCD TV." So what if this shows us frustrations like that, only LCD TV and home theater? So this kind of frustrated statements, right? If it is extended a conversation, that will create a humor for you. Mistakes, okay? When you write a script, be careful on making mistakes, okay? I gave these examples when during our previous last slide on the irrelevance, right? Arise, awake, and stop until goal is reached. Actually, I did a typo like this. Arise, awake, and stop until, instead of goal, I just put ES is reached. And I was thinking, when I was reviewing this slide, I was thinking, what made me to write this? Incidentally, it happened that on that day, the lunch I had ghost porridge, which I don't like. My frustration was actually being represented here. Quite a lot of people doesn't like ghost, the vegetable, right? Right. So this mistake has given me a stream of thoughts to write about cabbage or ghost, the least favorite vegetable in our home. And in fact, I happen to see that that's the least favorite for quite a lot of people. Only hotels make this because they don't want anybody to eat it, right? It is not served in very good functions, or it's not a very everybody's favorite. Well, in fact, there's a discrimination across. My mind started rolling around. There is a discrimination, not just about race or color. There's also discrimination among the vegetables. That gave me a stream of thoughts to write a separate script. Now, that would not happen if I have not made a mistake. Okay, so you welcome mistakes when you write a script, and even try to create a script out of. So these things are just like just deprecating humor. Your comedy is subjective; it might cause somebody harm. So it actually put yourself onto the story. Like a lot of comedians only do that. Even if it happened to somebody else, they put themselves. No, I went there, I went to school, or went to college. So like that, you put yourself into the story so that you degrade yourself. You don't have the problem of offending anyone. This for example. So is the dinner ready? My wife said it is ready. When you finish cooking, it is not necessary that this have happened to only me. It could have happened to anybody, right? So, but I put myself into the story. I said, I asked, is dinner ready? So this is the example of self-deprecating humor. I make fun of myself. So that's what you should do in your script as well. Humorous speakers put themselves down, okay? So that the audience attention flows towards them just like water. Everyone enjoys the company of those who takes things very lightly, even in your serious meeting, okay? If you are actually is a kind of a person who can crack a little bit of humor, okay, you will be taken very light. I mean, you will be taken you will not be taken too seriously for your mistakes. Okay, so it's a whole lot of exercises about making yourself a humorous person rather than winning humorous speech, because being a humorous person has a lot more benefit than winning a humorous speech. Okay, your joke should be very simple. That's why you should work on your script really very careful to keep it that very simple. Because if you write a joke which just makes the audience to think and interpret too much, then I think you will lose it down. Don't make the audience to think too much. Now, if you think of the Vadivel jokes, right, it is it doesn't allow the audience to think too much. There's a lot of body language involved, a lot of drama involved there. That's why large majority of people like it, because it was simple and easy to understand. Less words, more body language, and more drama. You should try instead of plain text because in Toastmaster we speak, so it has to be words, but also you add drama to it that would help the audience to understand it easily and enjoy it. Other techniques, you don't lock for your own jokes. We Toastmaster mostly won't have the habit of doing that because we actually rehearse your script a lot of times. ஸோ அது பண்ணும்போது நமக்கே சிரிப்பு வராது. நமக்கே ஒரு 10 தடவை பண்ணி சந்தேகம் வந்துடும், இவரோட சிரிப்பாங்களா மாட்டாங்களா, நமக்கே சிரிப்பு வரலையே. So that is because that you have been repeating and hearing it multiple times. That is okay. Okay. So only thing is that you should not laugh for your own jokes. The comedians don't do that. Write it down and rework multiple times, especially when joke is fresh. Now, as you start doing this, right, you may get some jokes on the fly. Ensure that you write it down and work towards it. To this, if this happens when you are as one of the audience and your speech is next, you want to call back some of the references that your previous speaker has spoken and make a joke out of it. When you're doing it, please write it down to make sure that it is actually reaching the audience properly, because words matter. Okay, wait for the audience to finish laughing before you start with the next joke. Okay, this is something that Crazy Morgan don't do. I don't like him for this reason. He never let me to enjoy his joke completely and immediately would start the next joke. Okay, so you can give this time. Wait for the audience to finish laughing before you start with the next joke. So don't be a Crazy Morgan here. And maintain a humor notebook or file or record in your phone. That's the reason it's important to note it down, because your ideas are your treasures. Okay, what you note down in this meeting on the sparks that you got when you listen to this session is very important, and that is your treasure. Please don't lose it. You may get a lot of ideas when you're taking bath, and you will not have opportunity to note it down also, only to realize that all those ideas actually washed up to the drain. Okay, so do not have a habit of noting it down as soon as you get your idea. Now I used to carry a notebook along with me to note it down as when I get some ideas, but now it becomes much more easier. I have a voice recording app in my mobile phone, so I simply turn on it, speak out that keyword or whatever it is, and then quickly record it. So I allow the recordings of all the incidents, or at least a few keywords. Once you get the keyword, your mind will remember and then catch the track or catch that pointer, and then it will expand it. This is what we just spoke. It's just, well, if you're not return it, no matter how good it is, you will lose it forever. I can bet on it. If you don't record it, you might think that you might have got some good ideas. If you don't write it down, you will most likely forget it forever. You won't even able to recall it. So write it down. So this you have to maintain a humor notebook or file this. As you just keep on noting it, it will actually build upon it, and you can always take the information from there. In fact, the entire PPT is built on a small adding a small incidents as I hear or as I get things on. Okay, so on the speech contest tips, improvise, rehearse, and edit the script. Put your whole body to the story. Audience love drama, because when I give a speech and then I come back to the audience and ask them what do you like my speech, and they always refer to the point where I had more drama, because that's easy to remember or easy to recall. Okay, so add more drama. Your first humor should come within the first 30 seconds of beginning of the speech. And then try to add every humor for every 15 seconds. Have the strong humor in the opening and the conclusion. Practice breathing. This is very important. Pause is very important, and these are the places. There are certain places which will the script itself will give you the opportunity to take a deep breathing. Use linking words such as "but." I can keep on talking like this, but I'm taking a deep breath here. I do not know whether you will tolerate it. So when I give a large pause after these words like "but," "and," "or," "because," "therefore," right? It doesn't look like it's a long pause, because the structure itself, right, allows us to give you some time. So harvest that opportunity to take the pause, take the breathing. Take the breathing. Some people get it naturally, right? I have one lady in my team. When she updates the status report, she exactly takes a breath when she utters these words, and that's amazing. She's not a Toastmaster, but actually I was really amazed by the way I speak. There is no pause fillers there, because most cases we use the pause because we have to take the breath. Okay, so when you prepare your script and then fine tune it, always also remember this breathing part as well. Okay, I won't do this. The first one is that I don't draw the audience response during the speech, only on a special occasions, because now the forum has changed. Now, when you ask a question, okay, 5 people will answer at different times. Okay, you will not be able to take it along because we are not seeing each other. It's not a regular setup. So I don't usually prompt the audience for any questions unless the script calls for it. Okay. So, and moreover, the other reason why we should not ask questions or prompt the audience is that in a humorous speech, audience are in the mode to receive. Okay, they wanted to laugh. You don't ask them the question. Okay, they will get upset. No, I'm here to just actually receive from you. Suddenly, you ask me questions and disrupt the flow. So that's my thing. I seldom use audience response in a humorous speech, but some people have different opinion. Take mentor's opinion as well. Mentors can throw you a very good feedback on this. A lot of my speech, a lot of mentors have given a lot of inputs, and that's the reason my speech went to one level to another easily. Ad-libs are the fillers that you keep preparing upfront when things goes wrong. Okay, for example, what are the possible things that can go wrong in a speech is that your mic suddenly doesn't work. Okay, so okay, try to have some sort of sentence or something to prepare to say at that moment when the mic failed, or when the mic resumes operation. Like you can say that my manager and mic are the same. They failed me at the last moment. And when the power goes off, we can say that I thought they paid the electricity bill. Contest chair, did you? So such kind of things, right, will actually bring back that absence, or if something goes wrong, right, when you start, right, you'll have some feeling of nervousness or something audience or nothing. So use that itself as an opportunity to actually start from there and take off. So those are called ad-libs. You prepare something for the worst case and prepare the script of what you should say when things go wrong. Talk to the people who came for the fourth, fifth. This is an important lesson. We always talk to the people actually who won the contest, right? Right. And winners actually, right? They after they win the trophy, right? They just don't look at the script again. But the people who came at the who lost, right? They will try to find out, go through back to the script, and then find out what actually went wrong here. In fact, they have got a lot of learnings and tips for you. So for this meeting, if you have called for the people who have not participated in the contest and not won, they would have done the better job than me. That's my opinion. So this exercise, okay, this is usually I think how are you doing on the time? Timer? Sorry, I didn't. Time is up. Okay, thank you. I will just open up for any questions now.
Thanks, Dina. It was really awesome. And now I can connect how this certified rascals, the script and everything they connect, right? I can connect to one of these techniques what you have told. So I was like wondering how they are coming up with a lot of scripts, ideas, and all. So now I can connect. Thanks for sharing your wisdom.
Thank you. I've just put some FAQ here. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, I just go ahead.
Please continue.
Okay. One thing which I had as spark is like to use the current trending things as you were saying about certified rascals or something. So whichever is current trending, maybe a work from home scenario on the lockdown or something like that would be a massive hit if we attempt such current trending things, right?
Okay, but what I think what your mind says is the right thing. Okay, so you don't go with what the trend goes. Okay, it is something that I see. If see, we know that there will be a lot of work from home jokes going forward, right? Because a lot of them into this new situation. Okay, don't take that topic just because it is new. If your heart calls for it, go for it.
Okay, it's like not everyone will be aware about that, right?
No, what I'm saying is that if you definitely like it, you go for it. What I'm saying is that just because it is new, don't go for it.
Okay.
If you have a very strong script that's supporting that recent trend, go for it.
Okay. So if there's a big connect with me and the story that I'm gonna say, it is better to go such a kind of story instead of going behind the current trendings.
Yes, correct.
Perfect.
I just put some FAQ, which some people asked me this as well. One person in my team, in my club asked this, "Hey, Deena, where are you downloading the humorous speech script? Can you send me the link along?" So after listening to all this speech, still not convinced that, okay, maybe I'll be writing my own script. So I just put it here so that you don't ask this question to me.
Dina sir, this is Toastmaster.
Yes.
And I have one question for you.
Yes, Mr. Prinsley.
You are writing a script. You are imagining that there will be your script will have jokes here and there. But what if the joke's not working on that day? Do you have any plan B for that?
Sorry, okay. You're asking me like if the joke doesn't work, do you have a plan B?
Yeah.
Okay. First step, right? I would find out why the joke is not working. Maybe I would try to fine tune. Is it something wrong with the words, or is it something that people have already heard? Or which means that if the people, if this is not if it is a new, that's something that you think that is new, and if it is not common, probably you might have to work towards the words or other situations to take them further.
Or else, Dina, before going to the public, right, I can have set of people and I can take the feedback, right? Even that way also I can improve my script, right?
Okay, yes, that's also true. The thing is that no, that's a human perception. Whatever you created, right, you hold it to your best. Okay, you may get a dozen feedback, and your mind will not allow to observe all of those, and that's the right thing because it is your own creation. Okay, it's your baby, right? You don't grow up your baby based on somebody's recommendation. Okay, you take that as a pinch of salt and see how we can best to adapt to it. Or if you have to.
Hello everyone. Sorry to really interrupt. I think we are way above time. Just
Thank you so much. Thank you, Gopal. Sorry about that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for listening. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Dina. Can you just put in your contact email ID in the chat? If people might can actually go and ask you offline. Not that they will forget you, but they will actually go and contact you offline.
Okay. Fine. I'll put that. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Deena, for that amazing session. And I'm sure all of us would want to give a virtual round of applause for this.